What is going on, YouTube? We are back from a long hiatus. Been very busy with life, just work, and in the past, I don't think I've had a video out since like February before I was competing. So I did a Detroit Pro, got third place, as many of you guys surely know. That was my pro debut. So now we're just back in an off season, rolling through things, health phase right now. We're gonna start a growth phase soon, and then roll into a show early next year. But today, I'm gonna take you guys through just day in the life. Got my guy Devin behind the camera. He's just gonna be following me throughout the day. It's early in the morning right now. We're gonna go do our thing, and then I'm just gonna show you guys what I do. So the first thing I'm really starting with every morning is just like about a half a shaker bottle of water. And that's just straight water. And I do that before I go on a walk because any of you that have been bodybuilding for a while or you know anything about nutrition, getting like 8 ounces of fluid, at least water, first thing in the morning kind of kickstarts your digestion to start moving. You know, along with me going on the walk, everything's gonna start moving. So I just like to have a clear stomach before I eat anything. And usually when I wake up first thing in the morning, I'm not super hungry, so get a little bit of water in, take the dog on about a mile walk, and then once we get back, then I'm pretty hungry. So I don't like to just stack food on top of it. Like if I'm not hungry, yeah, there's points where you have to feed yourself, but if you're at a point to where, you're just constantly not hungry, getting some activity first thing in the morning really helps that. So I like going on a walk. I don't do like cardio first thing, but my heart rate gets up to like 90, 95, and I'm just on like a nice easy walk with the dog, and he just runs while I walk. So get 8 ounces of water in real quick, and then we're gonna hit the walk. October 2020 we got him as a puppy, 3-month-old. We went and picked him up in Florida, and we got him, his name was Kane, and then he was about 4 years and like 11 and a half months. Oh yeah. And okay, go. And I think back in last June or July. I think it was July. Okay, go. We found out he had lymphoma. He had a lymph node on his cheek, like right here on both sides, kind of swell up. We're like, huh, that's weird. I've never seen this. What is that? We didn't know if it was like a cyst or what. We didn't realize dogs had lymph nodes right here. Okay. And so we texted my vet, Justin Tran. He's a good friend of ours, and asked him, and he was very worried when we told him. So we brought him in. They tested it. He thought it was lymphoma. And they tested it, and they got a false negative that we were good. Me and Liana were freaking out. And, the lymph nodes stayed, but his condition continued to get worse. Like we go on walks like this, halfway throughout the walk, he'd stop, and like he would just stop and be like, hey, I want to go home. That was him saying he wanted to go home and didn't feel good. And we didn't realize, we weren't convinced that the test was right. So we went and got another opinion. We had another vet test it, just to double check. And it came back as lymphoma. I'm glad we tested it because we realized it and we were able to kind of get ahead of it. But lymphoma is one of those cancers that is extremely aggressive. And, once they're diagnosed with it, they have X amount of months to live. It's not really something, it's really aggressive. It progresses very fast. So we did everything we could. The second we found out it was lymphoma, we took him that same day, an hour away to, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon at this time. We drove an hour to go get him this stuff called L-Spar. Let's go down here. L-Spar is like an enzyme that they give, I guess, animals that have cancer, and it's supposed to get rid of a lot of the side effects that they're dealing with and issues, and it kind of neutralizes it. And we gave him that dose of L-Spar that day. He was there for about 3 or 4 hours. I think we were down in Mansfield, and he came back and he was great. And we're like, holy crap, his energy's back, he's happy. We're like, this is awesome. And then we were told we had to continue with chemo after that. So after the dose of L-Spar, we waited about a week and a half till we did the first dose of chemo. He was like back to his lively self, you know. We were like, holy crap, you know, like maybe he'll go into remission for a while, you know, and we'll get a lot more time with him. And then this is, I believe, July. Yeah, just right at the end of July last year. And so we took him to his first session of chemo down in Dallas. We had just moved over here. By that time, I believe it was September that we did the chemo for him. And, or it was like right at the end of August, one of those two. And we took him for that first dose of chemo, man, and it was just downhill after that. We were pretty convinced the doctors overdosed him, and it basically killed him. So he took that first dose of chemo. The second he came back from the doctor's office, he had edema in all of his paws, like edema, like super swelled. We were like, it looked very painful. And I freaked out when they brought him back, and the doctor was like, oh, we didn't even notice it. I was like, what do you mean? How do you not notice the dog's paws are inflated like double the size of what they normally are, filled with fluid? And then they checked it out. They're like, oh, maybe he stepped in an anthill. And we were like, okay, well, why was he in an anthill? You know, it was just thing after thing. We freaked out on the doctor. I'm very protective over my animals, and, you know, I got really upset. And then this next morning, so the type of chemo that they give them is called vincristine. And there's a side effect when you're given too much vincristine. The vincristine leaks out of their veins, and it leaks out into the skin, and then lesions open up. And they just have these, they have these giant sores that are just open sores that bleed. Extremely, like, I can't imagine going through what he went through. Like, all on his paws where he had edema in his arms, just lesions everywhere the next day. He's just bleeding everywhere. Under his paws, on his paw pads. Okay, go. So we were, you know, at that point we're freaking out because he's bleeding everywhere. We're trying to patch him up. You know, he's already going through what he's going through, and we felt terrible. At this point, we had to be on the steroid for so long. His head, like they call it pred head, because he was on prednisone for so long. His head loses all the muscle, and all you could see was his head bone. His face lost all the muscle. His body was so weak, and like the muscle just goes away when they're on that prednisone. And bien. So we felt awful. You know, we did the chemo because we were trying to help him, you know, and it basically, the chemo basically put him out. And so that following week, after like 5 days of seeing him go through that, he couldn't even walk. He came off the couch one day. I slept on the couch with him, and he crawled off the couch with his front paws and then just collapsed with his back paws because he couldn't stand up, and just like laid on his side because he couldn't move. And you know, Loki's only, I think, 80 pounds. Kane was 100. So Kane was a lot bigger. His back came up to about right here, and he was a little bit longer. So he was a really big dog. And so when he collapsed that night, I was like, we got to do something, because, you know, he can't walk. He's bleeding everywhere. Like, he looked like he was in pure misery. So that next day, I called the people to come put him to sleep, and then the following day they put him to sleep. It was like 5 days before his birthday. So I know that was a long story, but that's what happened with our last Doberman. I never kind of opened up on YouTube about it. And it was kind of tragic, you know, what happened. It was very tragic, and, you know, it just all happened so quick. It was like July, we found out he passed away like mid-September. So we did everything we could. I think the vet bills, we spent like $25K in vet bills, like just for that first dose of chemo and all the testing and stuff we did, because we got him tested for tons of stuff because we didn't know what it was, especially after that false negative. So then, I believe like 4 weeks later, Liana found Loki on Instagram from a family that was basically neglecting him. They just said they need to rehome him, but they were completely neglecting him. He was in the cage all day. And so we adopted Loki. When we got Loki, he was a menace. This dog was a year old. His birthday's like almost the same as Kane's too, so, but a year later, or I'm sorry, 4 years later, right? Because he was only a year when we got him. Okay, go. So we adopted Loki. He was a little menace. And that first month, I don't know if I was gonna keep this dog. He was so much nonstop. He whined all day, every day, you know. Probably missing his family and stuff, but it went on for like a month and it was brutal. I couldn't get any work done. He didn't listen to anything. He's basically like a giant puppy that didn't know anything. So he wasn't destructive, but he was just very, like, because he was stuck in a cage all day, every day, you know. He was fat, out of shape, you know. I mean, you can see him now. He's very muscular and in shape. We got him in our training with our dog guy out here that does all our dog training, Breg. He does a lot of military, or he does only military and police dog training with like mals usually. So like bite dog stuff, drug dog stuff. So Loki was right up his alley, being a Doberman. Just a high energy dog. And you know, as you can see now, Loki's amazing. Okay. And then I can call him back. Yeah, he comes right back to me. He's very responsive. He's very good. And Loki, come on, help you. And I just have this. So this is like his e-collar. In case he does decide to run out on the road when there's a car, I can tap it and it shocks him real quick. And he knows if he gets shocked, it's like, hey, I need to come back to dad, you know, because it's dangerous. So I only use it in like certain situations and stuff. And, it's more of a training tool. And like, see, I'll just stop. He stops with me. If I slow down, he slows down with me. So Brett got him trained very well. He taught him, the big thing was I don't know how to teach us recall. So like recall is just, you know, when I let him go, and if I call it back, he'll come back. Yeah. So I know that Loki's gonna come back. And that's the biggest thing when you have a dog like this, like getting them to come back to you, because like he can listen to everything else, but if he doesn't come back to you when you call him, it's like, what's the point of having a dog? You know, you have to have them trained so they listen to you. Okay, so I'm not worried about anything he does. And the big thing was, I think that first month we had him, oh my gosh, there was a point to where I was taking him out right before me and Liana were leaving the house, and we were taking him somewhere. He was on a leash and his prong collar fell off. Like, I guess one of the links fell, so the leash fell. I was like, oh no. And then he saw the prong collar fell off. So he knew it was off and he took off running. And it was like right out there where we live. And he took off all the way down here, ran around this corner. And if you can see that, that's about probably like a third or a fourth of a mile. So he did that and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not catching this dog. So I'm full speed sprinting as fast as I can, 280 pounds, just trying to chase this dog down because I don't want him to get hit by a car and I don't want to lose him. So I finally catch up to him. I rounded the corner and he had rounded the corner probably 2 minutes before that. And there was another dog and a guy, luckily right there. He was just circling the dog because he's not aggressive at all. He just wanted to play. And thank God that guy was super nice. After that, I was like, man, we got to figure out something with him. Like, I can't have this dog running away, getting hit by a car or something crazy. So that's kind of the story of how we got Loki and what happened to our last dog. So it's kind of a blessing sent from God at the same time, because me and Liana, that was like when we got married, we got hit. Liana moved in with me after we got married, and then I'd say like 5-6 months later, we got Loki. So he's kind of like our little kid, you know, if you can say that. And he was like, my last dog was like my soul dog, you know, like he was very much like, it's funny when you raise an animal, they like start to pick up your own demeanors and like things that you do. It's just like a kid does. And I saw so much of how my dog acted like me, and he acted a little bit like Liana too. So, you know, when you raise the puppy and you see it, you know, and it's got all these like characteristics that are so much like you, and then something so tragic like that happens, you know, it was very hard for us. But, you know, Loki helped us heal, and I think he was great for us. So, you know, God bless them for sending them to us. So, but that is the story behind Loki. All right, now we're back from the walk. This is what I do when I get back. So, I take a GDA, take that, and then I take a digestive enzyme, and then I've been using Revive GI. I don't work with Revive at all. This is just a product that I've been using for like 6 years. It's a great product. It's called GI Plus, and it's just to kind of help your digestive tract move too. If you have, I don't really have digestive issues, but I've been taking this for so long, you know, it just helps the digestive tract smooth. If you eat a lot of food, helps get everything moving, helps everything move very well. It's just supposed to help you have a healthy digestive tract. Not, hopefully this ain't too much TMI, but I've noticed like using this makes my stool very like firm, and it makes it very easy to like go. So you just go and it passes very easy. So I've noted if you do have any digestive issues, this is a great product to just start with. If you eat a lot of food, this is also a good product too. So it's just super simple. I'm not trying to sell you guys on it. I don't get any kickback from any of this. I don't have a code with them. Well, it's just a good product. And I like to be real with you guys, actually what I use. I just do a scoop of that, and I usually do 2 scoops of glutamine with that, but unfortunately I'm out of the glutamine. I literally just don't help this morning. So just throw that, another half filled shaker cup. It does not taste good. Oh, it doesn't taste bad. It just got like this really weird cinnamony taste because there's cinnamon bark in it. Cinnamon, green tea, sunflower lectin, soy lectin, glucosamine, apple pectin. Just kind of weird taste. So chugging it is the best option. But if you have a greens powder, I used to use Revive's green powder too. I don't anymore. But throwing that in, like just throwing any kind of greens in with this, kind of like masks the taste a little bit. So this is our trusty Cali Cooks meal. If you're local to the DFW area or Houston, they're based out of Houston, so you can get it same week in Houston delivered. DFW, Wednesday he does deliveries. Code McCall will also save you. So if you need bulk proteins, meal prep, whatever that may be, you can check out calicooks.com. They're awesome. I love the way, like this is awesome. Like getting this, I just get this frozen. I get several bags weekly of this, and it's just so convenient. It's already cubed up chicken. I don't have to cook it. Like that is the biggest time saver in bodybuilding, you know, especially being a bigger guy. You know, when you eat lots of protein a day, you know, this cooking all of this takes up so much of your time. So just the convenience thing of having more time on my hand allows me to put more time with my clients, more time into bodybuilding, and just more time into the important things that I need to do rather than spending that cooking, you know, hours and hours a week, you know, so big time saver for me. I'll usually just cut those bags open, and then I'll get a glass Tupperware. Something like this. And this is still a little bit frozen, so it's like a block of chicken. But I'll just throw that in there. And I'll stick it back in the fridge like that until it thaws out and breaks up. But it's just super convenient. You know, tomorrow, Liliana will basically finish that bag today, just about. So usually we get, I think, like 5 or 6 bags a week. And that lasts us throughout the week. We get steak as well, turkey, and then when we're dieting, we'll get fish into that. So just a nice, convenient way to save time and make our lives a tad bit easier with one here. Both being full-time coaches and basically full-time bodybuilders, you know, conveniences, you know, on the forefront with saving time. So now the chicken's going. I usually warm that up in the pan and cook the eggs. So this is kind of what I do in the morning. So I'll do, first I'll do my oats. So this is just a rolled oats, 50 grams of this. I like to do this because I don't want to do all the oats because it's just too much fiber and it sits so heavy once you get to like 100 plus grams. So I do 50, gets a good amount of fiber in the diet still. And then I do my bowl of gains from Flavor Gang, Code McCall. Got to use this stuff if you have it. It's absolutely phenomenal. This is the crackberry flavor. This is basically just rice flour with flavoring in it. It's absolutely delicious. Smells amazing. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. I just do another 50 grams of this. Then it weighs out to 100 grams total. And then the secret to this, cooking this right, is you need some kind of hot water source. So I use my espresso maker. It's got a hot water thing over here. If you have a kettle is another great option. But this is how I do it. I'll fill this up as it fills up. Get all the dry spots, make sure all the water is being mixed in there. And believe it or not, if you've ever had Quaker's oats, the like sugary packets of oats, the blueberry one, this tastes just like it. And this also has like tiny little blueberry things in it. It's honestly so good. And it's not filled with a crap load of like sugar and all that crap that's in those Quaker packets. Just a little bit of artificial sweeteners. You got like stevia and sucralose in there. You know, as long as you're not like doing a crap ton of sucralose and stevia a day, you know, your stomach will be fine. You can handle a little bit. So after you do that, I make sure all the dry ingredients are mixed with the water. And then I'll throw this in the trusty microwave for 30 seconds. I've heard from a lot of people, if you have a hot kettle though, the hot kettle gets so boiling hot that you can pour it in there, just the right amount of water and mix it. And it'll basically like cook it just enough. That I don't think is quite as hot as a kettle. But that's what I've heard. But usually when you're making the bowl of gains, you know, and the oats aren't in there, if you want it more of like a harder consistency, you want to do it more like a 3 to 1 water to cream of rice ratio. So 100 grams of cream of rice, 300 grams of water. If you want it more creamy and more like, kind of like I would say, maybe of like what grits are supposed to be, where not like gritty, but just the texture of the grits where it's like nice and smooth, you want to do 4 times the amount of water and it'll come out more like that. So as you can see here, put it in for 30 seconds. When it's starting to cook, you can tell. So I'll just mix it up a little bit more. And no, I didn't weigh any of that water I put in there. I've just been doing this for a while, so I kind of know how to eyeball it. I wish you guys could smell this. This smells freaking amazing. So mix that up. Throw it back in for 50 seconds that time. And then it'll be fully cooked through. All right, so now the most important part of the morning, coffee. So as you guys have seen on my other videos, espresso is what I do in the morning. So I kind of been doing this new thing that I don't think I did the last time I showed you what I do. So what I'll do is, after that gets done, I pull 2 shots worth of espresso. And I have this little like trusty little thing that you can just put in there, and it has all the espresso there and it doesn't overflow. So then I take this tamper, and press it through here. I could basically work at a coffee shop, I'm that good. But press the tamper, it presses it down enough. Then I press it again so it gets below the line and it's nice and even. No, I'm not sitting here weighing the beans out and doing all that crazy stuff that some people do. Not that it's crazy or anything, but like I don't get super in depth about like the perfect pressure, the perfect like smoothness of the beans, the perfect like grinding it. I don't go too far into it. I just kind of set it to the setting that I know that has worked. Press it down, you know, and then I get the espresso shot. And for me, it tastes delicious. It comes out great. I pull 2 shots every morning. I'll throw that in here. All right, so I got the 2 shots pulled. This is one of my favorite mugs. We got this in the stockyard. they have such good mugs down there. Like, look at that. Texas rattlesnake country. And then it's just like a rattlesnake texture. And it's just, I don't know. It's just cool. And I think we got this other one down there if it's still in here. So it might be in the dishwasher. Yeah, it is. But the stockyards, if you're in Fort Worth, go to some of those stores down there. They have some of the coolest freaking coffee mugs and little like souvenirs you can get. So anyways, ADD self. Put the 2 shots of espresso in there. And then I take these 2 stevia packets. Stevia, leaf, and monk fruit. So I throw these in here. I don't use like sugar or anything like that. This tastes good enough to me. I don't know. I know a lot of you guys probably think the same, but like, it's like once you have Diet Coke, right? Like, I can't drink normal Coke anymore. It's just like, not that I really would ever, but like I've had a sip of a normal Coke in the past couple of years, and it's just like, to me, it's just disgusting. It's too sweet, right? So like, once I've gone to like the diet route, I can't go back. And like, I don't ever use sugar. I guess the only time I really have sugar is if like I have an off meal and I have like ice cream or dessert or something. I don't ever intentionally use sugar. But with that, after I throw that in, I take this cold brew, right? Some of y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but this is just what I do and I really enjoy it. And you guys should try it as well. So I'll take this cold brew, stock cold brew. I usually get the espresso blend, but they're usually out of it. So we've had to get just the normal stock. And then I will fill this up the remainder of the way, most of the way, with this cold brew. So it's kind of like espresso in the cold brew. Then I just throw a little bit of cashew milk, kind of make the texture a little bit better. So just a tiny bit in there. I don't really like using a lot of this. The only other time we'll use this if we do like post-workout Chex Mix with like protein powder. We use a little bit of the cashew milk to make the milk, or we'll use that to make creamies. Good morning. Oh, you got the fun pants on.
You can't tell me nothing in my funny pants.
You got to get the fun pants on video. They look so good.
Thanks.
With the outfit.
I like the blue.
I like that. Looks good, babe. So that is like the key to the morning. And it's the best coffee ever, because I made it. All right, guys. So this is the breakfast, the beautiful breakfast I do every morning. It's 130 grams of sourdough, 200 grams of chicken, 3 whole eggs. I throw ketchup on there because that's like the go-to for me in the mornings. 50 grams of oats, 50 grams of the Flavor Gang Bowl of Gains crackberry flavor, which is like the blueberry flavor. And then I throw blueberries, frozen blueberries on top. And then I got my trusty coffee that I do every morning. And that is meal 1. I'm gonna get this down, guys, and then throughout the day, we're just gonna kind of show you guys what I'm doing throughout the day. We're gonna go train, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, so we just finished up a call with a potential client. I believe he's gonna sign up, we'll see. But we just did that, going through some more client just responses and stuff. Wednesday, I don't do any check-ins. Monday, Tuesday, I do all my check-ins. So Wednesday is just kind of like responding to clients throughout the week, the rest of the week, building any plans and stuff. Or no, today's Thursday, not Wednesday. But throughout the week is just responding to clients, building any extra plans that I have built. I just like Tuesday and Mondays to be my really heavy client days, because then it'll just allows like a lot more flexibility with bodybuilding, right? And then if I have other plans that I need to build, I can do those. Because Mondays and Tuesdays, you know, aren't super heavy with like bodybuilding related stuff that I need to besides training, you know, because like if I'm doing anything for Gasp or just other content that I need, it's usually throughout the second half of the week. And then like if I'm traveling for shows, you know, I'm competing, whatever, that allows me to do my 2 heavy days at the beginning of the week. And then like usually if I'm traveling somewhere to go compete, I'm leaving on a Wednesday. I'm not like leaving Monday or Tuesday, you know. probably won't do that unless I do like the Olympia one day. So that's just kind of like what we got going on this morning. Just had that one call. I got another call with a past client that actually a good friend from the military. His name's AJ. We're going to hop on another call. He's about to sign up with me again. We did a prep together. He did great for his first prep, and then he had just some life stuff going on. Needed to focus on that, and now he's going to hop back on board, so I'm excited for that. AJ's one of my good friends, too. But yeah, that's just what we got going on here. This is my little office setup that we got going on. The wife put it together for me. She's great at decorating, so just got to put something together a little bit more homey for me. We got some more military stuff I want to put up as well. But yeah, this is my little area where all the magic happens, all the editing for Instagram and all the client work. So this is honest. I wanted to show you guys this too. This is a lamp that my buddy John made me. He's one of my best friends from high school. He put this together. I believe it is called whiskey bent lamps. So he basically has like a piece of wood. So obviously I got like a picture up on here, but so there's a piece of wood as the base, and then he does like piping, obviously for all the wiring. And then I have a Casamigos tequila bottle on there because that's like my favorite alcohol. No, I don't drink, but when I did drink in my early Marine Corps days and like those days, I liked Casamigos. I like tequila. So he put that together for me. He puts a nice like amber lamp in there, and so shout out to John from Whiskey Bent Lamps. You can check them out on Instagram. He put that together for me. It's just a cool little light, and it's a nice little subtle light in here. I don't like big overhead lights, so if you want a little lamp that's cool and more of like a man cave lamp, there you go. But yeah, that's what we got going on this morning. We're going to get ready here probably in the next hour and a half, eat again, and then get ready for the gym. We got some back today. All right, guys, got that pre-workout meal. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this on my Instagram if you do follow me there, but this is my pre-workout meal. Tons and tons of carbs in here. It's 400 grams of rice, 200 grams of chicken, a whole banana, 45 grams of dates, 30 grams of honey, 30 grams of almond butter, and 2 packets of salt. So it's like the perfect pre-workout meal. Digests pretty well for me. I usually eat this, go train in about an hour after this, an hour, 20, 30, something like that. Usually at least an hour from now, I'll drink my pre-workout. I like a little time to digest, just especially it being a bigger meal. So this is my pre-workout meal. Looks amazing. And I throw some cinnamon on top because it just helps with the absorption of the carbs and it helps digestion. So if you didn't know that about cinnamon is a huge cinnamon bark extract. Cinnamon is in a lot of GDAs, glucose disposal agents that allow you to uptake more carbohydrates. So cinnamon helps insulin sensitivity, and it just helps the absorption of carbohydrates in the bloodstream. So if you didn't know that, you can throw cinnamon on a lot of meals. I do it when I'm prepping, and it tastes really good. So this meal is really like a sweet, salty kind of meal. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should. It's one of my go-tos, and it's been in my diet since I stopped prepping, just because I really enjoy it, and it tastes really good. So I'm gonna get this down, and then we'll go over pre-workout, subs, intra-workout, and everything on the way to the gym. All right, guys. So we're on the way to the gym. Little sneak peek of what's to come. Signed with HT Muscle just recently. As this video comes out, everything will already be completed and will be part of the team. So phenomenal products. Dorian and the team is awesome. We have stepped away from Core. I have nothing bad to say about Core. Great company, but just wanted to move in a direction, that was more up to speed with kind of where I'm wanting to go with my career, and then just the direction I'm going. HT Muscle is just, for those of you who do know HT and those who don't, they're very through and through just a bodybuilding company, right? I love their marketing. I love the brand. I love the people behind the brand. I love what the brand stands for. And number one, I love the products. The products are phenomenal. So I've known Dorian for probably like 4 or 5 years now. He's been a great friend. He's an awesome dude. So I just wanted to thank him for bringing us on and bringing us a part of the team. You know, we're very happy to be a part of something that we are feeling is like this is home finally, right? So yeah, awesome new news there. And then another cool thing that I'm sure you guys have probably seen on Instagram, if you guys do follow me there, is the murder pouches. I've now partnered with Murder. This is our peach rings flavor. And for those of you who don't know what Murder is a new pre-workout pouch that has been brought to the market, and quite frankly, it is the best one. So what they use in this is a couple different things. There's no nicotine, no tobacco. They use paraxanthine as the #1 ingredient for energy. So paraxanthine is what caffeine converts to in the brain. So there's 100 mgs a pouch in here. There's S7, which is a pump ingredient to help with pumps. And then we also have cognizine choline, which is a focus ingredient, just helps you focus more, as well as B6 vitamins for a little bit more energy, right? So you've got your energy, a little bit of pump, and a little bit of focus in there. It's a pre-workout pouch. It's amazing. I have one in right now, in my top lip. That's where I like to throw it, because I got giant lips, and you know, if I throw something in my bottom lip, I just look kind of funny. So I throw it in my top lip. The flavorings on them are so good. This peach rings, we have peach rings, mint, cherry limeade, jelly donut, strawberry, kiwi, and mint. They're all awesome. I've used all the flavors. I just tried the mint one yesterday. Tastes like a breath mint. It's awesome. I love them. So these are honestly, I have a couple clients that have used them in prep, because I wasn't in prep when I got introduced to these, and they say it's been a game changer for fasted cardio, because you know, you're usually just dragging ass first thing in the morning, and if you don't take caffeine with your cardio, you know, you can kind of be just dragging ass, and it like fasted cardio, you know, when you're under 8 weeks out, kind of sucks. So this is a good little kick in the ass to like kind of just get your day rolling, you know, get focused. And the best thing yet is there's no crap in this like there is in a lot of tobacco products, right? So it uses coconut fiber for the absorption of these ingredients through your gums. So you don't have like, there's no fiberglass in this like there is in a lot of the tobacco products, like dip and stuff. So you're getting a more all natural-ish product, right? And you're just getting some pre-workout ingredients in there in a pouch. So if you want to check them out, murder.com, code McCall, 20% off. They're awesome. My favorite flavor has to probably be the jelly donut. It is spot on for what a jelly donut tastes like. So you guys want to check those out, or you see me in person at AR or Destination, come up. I'll let you try one, or if you're lucky, I'll give you a can. So yeah, we have just now pulled up to the gym, and we're about to go train some back and buys.
So this is carb HD, so carbs from HD to dextrose, 30 grams of carbs, and then it's got 20 grams of EAA HD, so 20 grams of EAAs. I ran out of glutamine, so usually I put 10 grams of glutamine in here, and then 10 grams of creatine. So that is my intra workout shake that if you're trying to grow muscle, you need EAAs, you need carbs, glutamine, and creatine. Those are the things you need. Depending on how much of each of those you need, depending on your body weight, male or female, baseline, I would have everybody do 25 grams of carbs, 15 grams of EAAs, 10 grams of creatine, 10 grams of glutamine across the baseline. If you're a bigger guy, 250 plus, I'd have 50 plus carbs in there, 20 EAAs, 10 grams of glutamine, and then 10 to 15 grams of creatine.
Yeah! So we're making our post-workout. I got a bowl of peanut butter cookie bowl of gains in, 140 grams. Just finished. Look, it won't even fall. That's how you know it's good. So 140 grams of that. It's like the nice consistency. I did 1 to 3 ratio. So 140 grams of that, and then 420 grams of water. So that's that. And then the best way I found to make, like if I'm not gonna do a whey drip, if I'm gonna make a shake and not wanna do a ton of water with it, I just take my protein. So here I got the Pro HD chocolate flavor. It's really good. I think the vanilla is my favorite though. And then I do about 3.5 scoops in here, so that's about half a scoop. And one more. So look, it looks like a lot, right? This stuff is phenomenal. You got your grass-fed whey protein that's so light, digests super well. So if you're gonna put it in water, just mix it with like a frother, and it'll make it so you don't put a ton of water in there, and it makes it so you don't have to drink like a ton of fluid with it, because I don't like drinking protein shakes with tons and tons of water. So it takes a second, but it's all eventually in there. Mix, gotta get it off the sides. Turn it on high. There we go. And boom, that makes it like perfect. So then it's not like an ass load of fluid that I have to drink with my meal. Because those of you who know, when you're eating tons of food in your meals, and then you want to drink water with your meal, it absolutely annihilates your stomach. Like everything just blows up, and you just feel so full of water. So I like to just throw it in a little glass like this. Just throw the 2.5 scoops, throw it in there, and it's just super easy to drink, and it tastes delicious. So I got that in there for my post-workout, and then along with that, I do a Honeycrisp apple. I don't weigh it out. It's like ooh, this is a bad one. I'm not eating that one. So it's 300 grams, and usually one of these is about 250 to 300. So I just eat that. Not prepping again, it's the off season. So if it's more than 300 grams, so be it. I could use the carbs. So just do one apple. I do that. Protein shake. And then what I like to do, because the cream of rice or the bowl of gains is hot, I like to do some kind of frozen fruit. I'll vary. Usually it's blueberries, because I just like blueberries. And I didn't even put the freaking scale on. So we're gonna eyeball it. That's too much. So I put another, I'm gonna say what I put in there at first was 50 grams, so another 51, so it's 100 grams of blueberries. I love the HEB blueberries, but they come in these crappy little bags that you can't reseal. So you have to put them in these, which is kind of annoying. And like I wanted to show you guys like earlier, this is what the Cali Cook's chicken comes in when it's frozen. It's just a vacuum sealed bag, portioned up, seasoned, nice and cubed. Thaw it out in the fridge, so like when you're about a day from eating another one, throw it in the fridge and it'll thaw out and you got some protein. So I'm gonna need to thaw this one out because we're running low. And that will thaw out. By the time I need it tomorrow, it'll be good. So the meal is 75 grams Yeah, 75 grams of Whey ISO, the Pro HD chocolate flavor. Absolutely delicious. And then we got our chocolate peanut butter cookie from Flavor Gang. 140 grams of that, 100 grams of blueberries, an apple, and that is the post-workout. I was doing some honey on it, but I pulled back on just the amount of honey because I do like 30 grams of honey before I train, and all the sugars, just too much sugar during the day. So pulled back a little on there, replaced it with a little bit more cream of rice because it's a little more steady. But yeah, so that's the post-workout meal. I'll get this down, and then we're going to kind of slow down for the night. And then the last meal is probably going to be something fun, like some sushi or something. But I'm going to figure out what that is. And then, yes, so as I'm sure as you guys probably are noticing, I only do 4 meals a day right now. So including my intro workout, if you want to call that. But I am cruising. I'm in a health phase. And just with my schedule lately, 4 meals has been great. I've kind of been on the slow down. I haven't been traveling a ton. And my food's still at like 700 grams of carbs. I think my proteins, we've kind of dropped the protein a little bit being in a health phase just to give the body a little bit of a break. I believe it's at 310, 315. And then my fats are 85. So the food's still pretty decently high, you know. It's not, I guess not high for me, 700 carbs, 85 fat, 315 protein. So nothing crazy. But you know, once we're in a growth phase, that protein will go up a little bit more. The carbs, I'll probably end up getting to 1 gram of carbs because that's usually what I'm eating in the off season at my weight. And then the fat's usually 85, 90. We don't usually go too much higher. I like to push the carbs high. Cameron likes to push the carbs high. We don't like to get the fats too high because I just noticed like digestion starts to slow down a lot with more fats. And I've noticed I just start to put on more body weight. So I do very well with high carbs. So 4 meals a day. This is the meal. And then the last meal will probably be sushi. So I will see you guys then. Because I thought he ate the other staples. Thank God they're still in there. Thank God. Loki, if you eat this, I'll kick your ass. Don't eat this. This is for my boots.
What do you have to say for yourself, Loki?
Yeah, what do you have to say? No. No, sir. We don't eat. From 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then after that, 6 p.m. to like 10. All right, so now we are at our final meal. I was going to get some sushi, but I just completely forgot to order the sushi. And by the time it was time to eat, it was already too late and all the sushi places were closed. I was kind of in the office working, and then I came out here, was talking to Liana and Devin, and I'm like, oh, it's 9 o'clock already and I need to eat. So I just made a bigger meal because my weight has actually dropped like 3 pounds the last couple days. And I don't want it to be dropping, so it's an indicator I need a little bit more food. Been looking a little bit actually tighter in the mirror, but I'm not necessarily like wanting the weight to drop. I'm kind of just want it to steady in one place. So I want to get back to like that 283 mark. I'm below 280. I was 279 this morning, and yesterday I was 278, and weight came up a tiny bit. So wanted to come back up a little bit. And the day before that, it was 279. So I just randomly dropped like total of like 5 pounds in the past 5 days since we got back from Austin. So kind of just trying to get everything to get steady again. So made a big meal. There's 300 grams of rice in here, 200 grams of steak, 4 whole eggs. I shaved about like 30 grams of this smoked cheddar I got at Whole Foods. It's absolutely delicious. On top of the eggs for a little bit more fat. And then I threw some ketchup on there. And then I'm going to also throw some of this Nerdy Sanchez from the Flavor Gang. It's like a taco sauce. It goes really good on eggs and steak. I love it. So throw that on top. You guys should try that. We have a ton of other good sauces too. 150 grams of sourdough. And then I weighed what remaining apples we had left that Liana left in a bag. And it was 120 grams of apples. So I'm going to eat that. And then I'm going to eat like 50 grams of dates with that. So a lot of carbs in this meal, but I was just trying to get like a higher calorie meal. Like there's like 39, 40 grams of fat in this. And then the total carbs was like 212 that I macroed out. So good amount of carbs and fats and protein in this, but I just wanted a pretty high meal today, tonight, just because, you know, that weight was dropping. I'm going to see what it looks like in the morning, and see what Cameron says. And then if we need more food tomorrow, I have a dinner I'm going to on Saturday. I'll eat more food there. So just need to probably up the food a little bit to keep that body weight to stay steady. So this is my last meal for the night. And this is going to be the ending of the video. We've had a long day and I have a busy day tomorrow, so I want to get to bed soon, and Devin wants to get home. So we're wrapping it up now. Like I've said in every other video, whatever you guys want to see moving forward, vlogs, training content, just day in the life, what's going on in the life, just let me know below. That kind of helps me move the channel in the right direction now that I have somebody behind the camera helping me more, along with some of the other vlogs that I will be doing. So just comment below what you guys like the video if you enjoyed it, and then if you want to support me, you can use code McCall at any of the links below. My code is the same on all the websites, Flavor Gang, and everything else. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.